Hey everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about a chilling legend that haunted the small town of Ravenshade. It's a tale that kept the townsfolk up at night and turned their peaceful lives into a nightmare. Let's dive into the story of the creature that terrified Ravenshade. Ravenshade was always a quiet place. Families left their doors unlocked and neighbors would gather on their porches to share stories. But everything changed one eerie autumn evening. It started with the livestock. Farmers woke up to find their animals gruesomely mutilated, their flesh torn apart by claws too large for any known predator. The local sheriff, Tom Harland, thought maybe it was wolves, but there were no tracks, no signs of a struggle, just deep, jagged gashes and an unsettling silence. Then people started disappearing. The first was a young boy named Daniel Myers. He was last seen playing near the forest's edge. His mother swore she heard him scream just after dusk, but when the search party arrived, they found nothing. No footprints, no struggle. Just Daniel's bicycle toppled over with fresh claw marks gouged into its metal frame. Panic spread quickly. Families refused to leave their homes after sundown. Stores closed early, and whispers about a monstrous beast lurking in the shadows filled the town. Some claimed to have seen a pair of glowing red eyes in the treetops, while others spoke of a low guttural growl that sent chills down their spines. Sheriff Harland organized a patrol determined to end the hysteria. Armed with rifles, the men ventured into the woods, their lanterns casting eerie shadows. Hours passed, and just as they were about to give up, a blood-curdling scream shattered the silence. It was Deputy Miller. The men rushed to his last known position, but all they found was his lantern swinging from a broken branch. The ground beneath it was soaked in blood, no body, just a single deep claw mark sliced into a nearby tree. That night, the town fell into chaos. People demanded answers, begged for help, but there were only more questions, no sign of the missing, no explanation for the horrors, only fear. Then old Mrs. Calloway, the town's recluse, spoke up. "It's not an animal," she whispered, "it's the Hollow One." According to legend, the Hollow One was an ancient creature, older than the town itself. It lurked between worlds, appearing only when it was hungry. It had no true form, just shifting shadows and piercing red eyes. Once it set its sights on a town, it would never leave, until it had feasted. Desperation led Sheriff Harland to consider Mrs. Calloway's words. If it wasn't an animal, what was it? That night, the townspeople gathered in the church, clutching crosses, rifles, anything for protection. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows. Then the scratching began. Soft at first, then louder. Something was out there. A shadow stretched unnaturally across the town square, moving against the wind. The lanterns flickered, and suddenly the church doors flew open. For the first time, they saw it. A massive, twisted figure, its body rippling like liquid shadow. Its eyes burned red, hollow, yet filled with hunger. When it opened its maw, rows of jagged teeth gleamed in the darkness. A scream rang out. A gun fired. The bullets passed through the creature like smoke, but it didn't stop. Instead, it lunged. People scattered, running for their lives, but the Hollow One moved too fast. One by one, it picked them off. By dawn, the town was empty. No bodies, no blood. Just an eerie silence and the faint echo of a whisper carried on the wind. A warning. It was still hungry. And somewhere in another town, it was already watching. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the story, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more terrifying tales. Stay safe out there.